I gotta pee so bad. I guess I'll go. Oh, there's the other teenage boy snitch. The older black boy. Gotta do the laundry. Gotta sew up Jake's pants. It looks like him, but I can't tell. He's got a hat on and a jacket. And there's the little boy that had the phone. Went into the vending machine area. He's come out now, and he's standing right by the double doors. Just right outside him. Turn around. Facing the wall. I have to be careful, you know. That woman, the way she reacted to me at Ryan's, you know, people pull up video cameras and videotape me and Jake, and she's not the first person to react to me and Jake. Strangely, there was another time I went through the drive-thru at Burger King and I pulled over in the parking lot for me and Jake to eat our food. And this woman and her family come walking over from McDonald's. This was down Uri Drive. It was her and a man and 3 kids, I think. And the black kid just went back in the library. Now the kid that went in with the cell phone. I think that's him. Yeah, he's coming out now. I don't know the kid. But anyway, she and her husband walked into the Burger King parking lot on the opposite end of the parking lot than where Jake and I were sitting in the Durango. Couldn't have possibly seen us doing anything. Both Jake and I had our hands full of hamburgers and were eating. She went into the store and she started looking out the window of my Durango, and then she came out of Burger King and stood behind my Durango and was on the phone. And I have no idea what she was reporting, but she started inside the store. She was pointing to my vehicle before she came out, and her husband was looking and stuff, and then she was talking to a manager, and they were all looking at my vehicle. Jake and I weren't doing anything but eating. And I wasn't smoking a cigarette or anything like that that would have possibly been anything for her to construe. So that's what it is people just follow us around and do stuff like that. I mean, we're not doing anything wrong. And just make phone calls to report us as suspicious. And that is fabricated to make it appear as though I have done something and am doing something, and these are just calls from the general public that see me, molesting Jake in the Durango in the middle of a Burger King parking lot on Uri Drive, right next to Uri Drive with everybody driving by, and that's what I was doing, really? Is that what it was? Or was it drug trafficking or what? Jake and I weren't doing anything wrong. That woman wasn't even close enough to our vehicle to see anything that she could have seen to say that we were doing anything wrong. Just like that woman at Ryan's today. I wasn't videotaping her and her kids. I might have had the phone in my hand like this, but I was flipping it around because I was waiting on Jake to come out and see how much it was to go eat there. And even if I was holding the camera like this in my hand, I was looking at the door to see when Jake was coming out so I could flip it back around and look back at him again. And the only thing, if you listen to the tape, all I said was, oh, there's a lady, they lost their keys in their vehicle. And what did she say? I stopped and asked her, what are you taking, she came over and took pictures of my license plate. I said, what are you taking pictures of my license plate for? And she said, oh, you were videotaping all of what's going on here. I told her I was not doing that. And she said, well, you don't know who I am. I'm calling it in now. Like she was a cop. Okay, these are informants that are set up to doing this stuff. Jake and I were talking in the truck about going there. If we were being followed there, they could have easily pulled into that parking lot because I went around the long way to get in. They could have pulled in there and locked their keys in there and then set it up as a pedophile thing with her kids out and stuff, knowing that I was videotaping. So they could make an accusation that I was videotaping her children. So I called the cops and told them, this is my name and number, hon. this woman is acting like she's a cop, claiming, like, alluding to that. And he told me she wasn't a cop. Well, he didn't even know who she was, but, you know, that's what happens to us. People pull up video cameras in public and video us. People stare at me and Jake all the time. In the library, if you ever watch the videos from the library, when Jake and I are on the computers, people in the library stare at us too. So it's just a free-for-all where this defamation has gone to the extreme that it has, that Jake and I are like Frankenstein, and people react to us like that's what we are. You know, oh, there's that woman in that red Durango. Oh my God, she got her camera out. Oh my God. I have to videotape, you know, and show on the camera people in our vicinity where we're going in and coming out and what we're doing if I can. You know, it's expensive. It's time consuming. And if I was an investigator, I'd be paid by the hour at least for it. Probably at least $10 an hour to do that. You know, for a cop. There's the bald man. Oh, he didn't look at me this time. So I'm bringing suspicion on myself for videotaping. Nope, I'm not. And if you'd been through what my son and I had been through, I relied on nothing but audio monitoring me and Jake for the longest time. Well, it wasn't enough. And I don't know if these tapes I'm making are ever going to matter or not. But you can bet I'll die trying. And if I could, I'd be wearing Diane Sawyer's state-of-the-art hidden cameras. And I would have DSL cable stuck up my wazoo if I had to. If it would make a difference. You know, I wasn't always videotaping him most of the time up until maybe 6 months ago. Maybe, you know, in the last year that I actually start videotaping, and it wasn't constant or anything like that. So, you know. Ain't it grand? I've never been charged with a crime. I've never been arrested. And my son and I have been crucified with the stigma that we're experiencing to the nth degree. And I suspect if we go to another town, it'll just start over again. Can't go to the Salvation Army. I already tried to go back there once, and Reverend Trammell said I owed him $750, and the women's director told me I couldn't come in there until I paid her $750. I don't owe them $750, but I was going to get paid the next day and expected to have that much money available. And I told her I'd pay it, and I'd bring it before we moved in there. And she called Reverend Trammell, and he said no. Got thrown out of the rescue mission because they said I was lying and saying I was a teacher going to school too, which I never said. Told me I needed to quit my job. Went through terrible harassment there. They didn't want me to wash my clothes or Jake's clothes, so I just started going to the laundromat when I had the money to. It was awful, terrible. Imagine the street trash, what that's like in a shelter, and there are people there, drugs, alcohol. Yeah, one lady, she started crying when she heard I was getting thrown out. She said, "Oh, Jeanette, if you knew the things that go on here, I can't believe they're throwing you out. You don't do anything to anybody." And she started crying. She had 3 kids.